Hi, it's Chris and Ron from SportsChatPlace.com taking a look at Week 7 of the college football action. Ron, and I can't believe it's almost, the college football season's almost half over. Kind of brought a tear to my eye when I thought about it when we were drawing up these videos, but man, it's flying by, but at the same time, I'm still happy that we just have it on the schedule.
Yeah, it's been such an eventful college football season, and I agree. This season has gone by so quickly, and we still have a lot to go. Plenty of great games ahead of us, including this week. But yeah, I mean, the first 6 weeks have just come and gone really quickly, and I can't wait for the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely, but let's kick things off. Well, we're going to look at a marquee Big 12 matchup. Pair of ranked teams going at it as we have Oklahoma State taking on Texas. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think the Longhorns bounce back in this spot?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when this game, you got two very different styles of teams. You got an Oklahoma State team that's been really solid on defense, only allowing 19 points per game, and that's tough to do in that Big 12 conference. And in Texas, you got a different story. They're scoring 45 points per game. They're allowing 30 points per game, but man, that offense has done well. Put up 28 points in last week's first quarter. Obviously, a heartbreaking loss in that comeback from Oklahoma, but I do think Texas, when you have a defense versus offense kind of game, mostly I look at defenses, but in Big 12 it's a little bit different for me. I actually look towards the offense. I think Texas is going to be able to score throughout the game this one, and I just don't know if Oklahoma State's going to have the answers. I like Oklahoma State's offense with Spencer Sanders, but do they have enough answers? I'm not sure, because I really think Texas is going to be able to score at will. I think this is going to be the toughest offense that Oklahoma State's faced all season long, and I think that we're going to see Texas put Oklahoma State in a lot of tough spots early on in this game, and I think if they force a few turnovers, force a few stops, Texas could have this game by a touchdown or more. So it's not my favorite game on the board in terms of betting. I think it's going to be a fantastic game to watch, but I'm going to lean towards Texas laying the points.
Yeah, I think this is my fanboy game with the early slate of college action. But I'm with you on Texas laying the points, mainly because, like you said, with the Big 12, bounce back spots are not necessarily about getting stops and kind of building up momentum that way. It's about putting points on the board, and because you're probably going to be involved in a shootout and you're prepared to be in a shootout on a week to week basis. But when you look at what Oklahoma State's done, their last 3 games in the second half, they put up 0, 0, and 10 points in the second half of each of their last 3 games. And simply put, if you get in a shootout with Texas, you're not going to be in a position early enough that you can rely on those kinds of numbers in the second half to get you to the finish line. I think, like you said, Texas, just the more complete team, the better team, at least from a depth standpoint. And I think that Texas ends up winning this one by a touchdown. I could see something like 45-38 or something like that. But definitely I'm with you with Texas laying the points. But looking to the next game, we got another interesting matchup, another intriguing matchup, as you have the Michigan State Spartans paying a visit to the Indiana Hoosiers. Michigan State, top 10, laying 4.5 points on the road.
Yeah, I mean, this Michigan State team, so many people were wrong about this team, including me. I can't believe the run that they're on so far this season. And that offense with Peyton Thorne has been fantastic. They built a great chemistry with the receivers there last week. Jalen Naylor had 3 touchdowns, 220 yards receiving. And he's not even the leading receiver on the team. You got Jaden Reed, obviously, with Trey Mosley also having 20 or more receptions on the year. We saw Indiana struggle defensively against a team like Western Kentucky, another pass-heavy type of team. And I know Indiana struggled offensively against Penn State's defense, but really, who hasn't at this point this season? I think Indiana, coming off that bye, I think their offense is going to be good enough at home to put some points on the board, and I know Michigan State's going to be able to score as well. Michigan State's defense, another thing, they're allowing over 400 yards per game, so definitely more offensive than defensive for Michigan State. Not what we're used to seeing, but the Spartans are getting the job done nonetheless, so I'm surprised to see this total as low as it is. I think I could see both teams in the high 20s, low 30s, so I'm going to take the over in this Michigan State-Indiana matchup.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I counted out the Spartans earlier on in the season just because I thought, Mel Tucker, he had his first year. He didn't get the guys in that he needed to, or if he had them in, that wasn't working. But Mel Tucker made sure my words were short and sweet because I had to eat them. And I'm buying into the Michigan State hype train. I'm laying the points of Michigan State here. I just think that while an injury to a guy like Michael Penix Jr. could galvanize a team like the Hoosiers, with the Hoosiers it was a lot of, as far as Penix will take them, that's how far they'll go. And I think when he's injured, or even if he plays, if he was banged up, it's just simply it's not enough. I think that Michigan State, just like you said, Ron, they're on an insane run right now. They're looking like a team that could end up crashing the New Year's Six, and maybe make an interesting case to the playoff committee if they can keep a run going. But definitely, I think this is a game that Michigan State also could win by a touchdown, kind of like the Texas game that we just talked about. But now we go into SEC country. Newly minted number one Georgia Bulldogs. Well, I kind of just spoiled it because I left the picks up here for this game, so I'll kind of correct this. And really hope that nobody noticed it. But either way, Kentucky, number 11 in the country, taking on, like I said, the newly minted number one Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia laying 23 at home. Give us your thoughts on this one.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Till Georgia proves me wrong, I gotta keep riding with them. They were my pick to win the national championship. They're 5-1 against the spread in the year. They've been fantastic against the spread as a favorite, which I think is important. They've been down this road of laying a good amount of points before. And I know Kentucky's been fantastic against the spread as well, and they've pulled off some big games last week against LSU. They upset Florida a few weeks ago. So I'm not discrediting Kentucky here, but Georgia, man. This is a team I think has the national championship locked in, especially when you look at what Alabama did last week. So I'm going to take Georgia. I'm going to lay the points. I know it's a lot.
So what you're telling me is that I didn't have to go through all that work of changing the titles and removing the picks and putting the game back up. No, it was short and sweet. I agree with you. But I'm going to look at the under here. I simply think this is a rinse and repeat of Georgia's game against Auburn. You're going to see two teams running the football. Georgia's going to have more success running the football. And could I see a carbon copy 34-10 win for Georgia? Absolutely. And funny enough, that falls right under the total right now at 44.5. But I can't disagree with Ron. I think that Georgia just simply the better team here. But like I said, between two teams running the football, and there's one team that just runs the ball better and finds ways to score while the other one just chews up clock. I probably got to go with Georgia in this one, and probably convincingly at that, but I still think it's going to finish under 44.5. And, well, we finish at the ACC, a North Carolina team that I think many of us can argue continues to disappoint left and right this season, playing a Miami team that also hasn't been living up to expectations. Ron, what do you think is going to happen to this one? North Carolina laying 7 at home.
Yeah, I mean, the ACC, what happened to the ACC? I mean, two teams here. I mean, the whole conference has been inconsistent, but you got two teams here not playing their best football. We haven't seen their best football. They were ranked before the season started, and I know UNC plays a lot better at home than they do on the road, but just last week, I mean, they lost to Florida State, an embarrassing loss. I'll say, they were laying 17 points. They lost outright. So I think Miami remembers what happened last year against these Tar Heels, and I think we see revenge come into play a bit. I just think with two teams that have been so inconsistent, that getting 7 points is pretty valuable. I honestly think the winner of this game is more towards a coin flip than it is 7-point favorite in North Carolina's way. So I'll take Miami in the points. I don't like the way Miami's playing, but I certainly don't want to lay that many points with a team that's also not playing great.
Funny enough, I was looking at that game, North Carolina, last week, and I remember I caught a little bit of flack for taking Florida State, but it was just like North Carolina was laying 17, and when I looked, they were down by 17. It was just one of those games I was just like, oh, wait a sec, I did take the right side, right? I didn't have it mixed up with the plus and minus, but I'm with you here. I'm gonna be taking Miami as well. I just think that, simply put, I don't want to lay points with North Carolina, and it's simple as that. Sam Howell, yes, there's no denying that he's probably an NFL caliber quarterback, but the North Carolina Tar Heels as a team just not playing like a team that looks like they just look like a shell of the team that won 10 games not that long ago. And Miami, De'Aaron King, again, like you said, not a team that's been living up to expectations. The ACC, I think, is just in a down year as a whole, but I still feel more comfortable getting 7 points with Miami than laying 7 with North Carolina. But I think it's probably another one of those games that maybe it's better to watch rather than bet. But Ron, of the 4 that you gave out here, considering I just said that, which one would you say is your favorite free play on the board?
I'd say the Michigan State Indiana over. I could see Michigan State in the 40s in this one, and I do think Indiana's offense is going to pick it up from what we've seen. So I like that over.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that Georgia Kentucky under. Like I said, I just see two teams that are running the football. One's just going to run it a lot better than the other one is, and I can see this one staying well under 44 points. Or even if we get to 44 and a half, it's still 34-10, keeps us well within that range. So that's where I'm looking at this one. But if you're looking for our best bets, you can check us out over at Sports Chat Plays Premium. You can get Ron's best bets, my best bets, or best bets from some of the other top handicappers in the world. And if you're looking for even more free picks, well, subscribe to this channel and join us for our live show, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the drive-through. Ron, thank you so much for joining me. Everybody, thanks for watching, and good luck this weekend.